And we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Dish with Candice Cooper. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I am so happy. So normally Mondays are supposed to be my days off, but because I'm always learning and growing, I had a haircutting class today. And that is what I did. And it was so great. And I feel like I learned so much. Okay, well, let's see. Do we not want to set up? There we go. Okay. Now we have to find our topics. Oh my goodness, you guys. Are you watching Bravocon? I caught one of the panels. I did, what did I catch? I caught the Jeff Lewis live. No, it's not the Jeff Lewis live. It's the Jeff Lewis panel. So I caught that panel, the one that he did with Andy. And I feel like Andy is constantly like, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? How are you going to get in trouble? And they did. They just announced Jeff is coming back to Bravo, flipping out. Now, oh my gosh, you guys, I have to fucking talk about this, okay? I grew up in the entertainment industry. So from the time I was 7 until I was 27, I worked a lot in New York, in LA. And so I understand a career arc better than most people. Here's my fear. Here's my fear. Okay? Jeff is on the radio 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. And I'm a serious subscriber. So I listen to the 2 hours, unless it's somebody that I don't like, and then whatever, I fast forward through them. Or I don't listen to that episode if I don't like it. Here's what I'm thinking, and this is why I'm a little bit worried. The second hour the second hour lags a little bit. And sometimes it's the first hour that lags, sometimes it's, but my point is 1 hour, 5 days a week is the sweet spot. We're going to have 2 hours, 5 days a week, plus flipping out on Bravo. Is it going to be Jeff Lewis burnout? Because you have to think of topics and conversation. When he had the girls on Friday, he had the girls on from Salt Lake City, and I think he had Dorinda on there. It was so boring. That I fast forwarded through. I do not care. And now, Bravo, I want you to hear this. I sincerely do not give two shits about the women who make Bravo their entire life. I don't know. Like, I just genuinely do not care about these women fighting. I cannot stand it. It's not why we became viewers to begin with. Those of us who watched OC back in the day with Joe and Slade and all of that, like, we were following Vicky's family. She was showing up at Michael's college, and she had a marriage, and she was at the office. We were following their lives. Whatever this show, this franchise has become, it's vapid. Who cares? And I have to say, I loved watching the Housewives on Wife Swap. Why? Because it was a family dynamic. They were with a family. They were working through not being comfortable with how the other family ran things and adapting. And so I just, oh, you thought I was AI? You're very sweet. I'm real. So, Bravo, we do not care to watch these women bicker and fight and dig up dirt. I I don't care about the glam. I don't care about this fighting. I want to see, and you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe it's really a testament to where we are in humanity. Nobody has families anymore. I mean, they do, but not like 20, 30 years ago when everybody had a kid or two or three or four, and you're driving kids to practice, you're doing this, you're doing that. People have become so one dimensional and one sided. It's boring. It is boring to watch. The fighting drew attention, but we all have like cortisol burnout at this point. We're all exhausted. We're all tired. We just want to watch you go to your kid's soccer game or some shit. At least that I just don't care about glam. That's why New York is always going to be the best. And I know Bev Hills, I'm sure they have glam and all that stuff, but Bev Hills still has, we had the Kyle and Kim. We had Kyle and Kim and Kathy fighting. We had all of that stuff that was just so real that we could all relate to. Everyone's got a family member that's a fucking drunk and a pain in the ass and, stole money and all kinds of shit. So I don't know. We related to that. We saw a real sisterly dynamic when Kyle was in the back of that limo and she said, "I'm going to tell the truth about you." All hell broke loose. What is up, Brooklyn? But do I fuck with the war? The war on drugs? Just say no. New York is always going to be the best because the women were real. And the reason why we all fell in love with Bethany was because she was the underdog and she was, had no money and was trying to piece it together and was, against all odds and didn't have it all yet. Now, Bethany is basically insufferable. I cannot watch her on any platform. And there are people, she was on the Toast, and basically everyone was saying, when you watch the Toast, it's just Bethany talking about how she invented everything, how great she is, how, she did this first and she coined the term food noise and all that stuff. And everyone is just like rolling their eyes at Bethany. And the girl from the Toast, is her name Lydia? Olivia? She asked ChatGPT who the first person was to coin the term food noise. And ChatGPT basically spit it out that Bethany basically was the one to use that term in a book to begin with. We're talking about Bethany Frankel. What is up? Yeah, we all win. We don't play. What's up, Jay? It's just, the franchise has gotten just so far away from what it originally was and what originally drew us into watching. I don't know. Andy did say that he's close to announcing the Real Housewives of New York cast. What do we think? Do we think it's going to be all OGs? Because he did say it's not a hybrid cast. So it's either going to be all new or all old. I don't think it's a good idea to make it all new. But I do want to say, you guys, Sonia needs an intervention. I'm watching her being interviewed at Bravocon. I don't know what is going on with her, but I fear it's not good because she's not really answering the questions. She looks like she's in outer space, and you know that this is going to give Jeff a platform to just roast her endlessly. But I will say, they're saying Sheena Shea got into a fight, a physical altercation with somebody from Southern Charm. I have some other stuff that I want to talk about. Oh, thank you, Jay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I just really, really, really hope that Bravo listens to us and gives us what we want. I would love to see Sonia being back on the show and maybe like going into a 12-step program or going to, she does these like detoxes. Sonia, queen, I think it's time to hang up the bottle. Okay? Because it's not doing you any favors. She looks a mess. There was an outfit with a pink top with a pretty bow. She looked good there. But whoever her stylist is, it must be the same stylist who's styling Jackie Schimmel. Because fired! Well, okay. It won't help her heal at all if Sonia really does need a program. Do you agree with me, though? Are you watching her at Bravocon? And do you think that her interviews are coherent? Both Luann and Dorinda are, I just feel like Luann knows Sonia so well. She did Crappy Lake with her. And Lou is such a professional. She's so on top of her game, even if she's can't sing and is terrible at playing the bongos and loves to wear Giovanni. She still pulls it together. Whereas Sonia is like, you're 62 years old and you still need a snatch guard? Why? I could see if you're like 28 to 32, but you're like in your 60s now. Enough with the snatch guard. Just behave. Hello, Scotland. Can I shout you out? What up, Zoe? You think she's free falling into psychosis? Interesting. Well, I feel bad for Quincy, whatever her daughter's name is, Quincy. I look like Lori Loughlin. Thank you. I've heard that a few times. What are we doing? We're ditching about Bravocon. Right now, we're talking about Jay in Scotland. Hey, Jay in Scotland. We're talking about Bravocon and how Sonia needs an intervention of some sort. But Jeff Lewis to get pissed off at somebody like that, because he loves to have a good time. He loves to have a drink. He loves to have a little party. And he was like, she needs like an intervention. And I definitely am like, I don't disagree with that. She just goes off on these tangents. And we're not saying Ramona's not there. So we got J1, we got J2, we got all the J's. But I did hear and I did see on TikTok, somebody was secretly recording Shep Rose not breaking down, but he was like freaking out about Paige breaking up with Craig. What a fucking tool Shep is. Shep is, his personality is, my family conquered this land and I can do no wrong. He is like so cocky. He is so full of himself. He is such a little snarky bitch. I cannot stand Shep Rose. And I wish that his ancestors I wish their fucking boat would have crashed into the fucking ocean and he would have not made it over here because he is so insufferable. Okay, Shep Rose is so insufferable and so in love with himself. I want to see Shep get knocked down like 52 pegs. Oh. Yeah, well, I don't like Shep Rose. So, and why is he ranting about Paige? We all know that I think that Hannah and Paige are not going to last friendship-wise for much longer because I think that Hannah is that girl. And it reminds me of like when, if you guys were like fans of Shaws of Sunset, when Asa did in vitro behind everybody's back and Mercedes shared her in vitro experience with everyone, and then Mercedes felt like very betrayed that Asa didn't tell her. And that is exactly how I feel about Hannah. Like, Hannah will let you tell all of your deepest, darkest secrets, and you know, like, and her be like, yeah, I just don't think I'm gonna like get married, and she's like, yeah, I just don't think I'm gonna have kids, and she's married before Paige, and I bet she has kids in like 2 years. Oh my gosh, you've never seen these shows. Thank you, Brian. You are worthless, and if I could step on you, I would. Get under my shoe. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I've had a friend like Hannah before, and they're just like sneaky. They're just sneaky. Whereas Paige feels so attached to Hannah. Her identity is attached to Hannah. Her career is now attached to Hannah. Paige, dumb. You being on Summer House was fueling all of your endorsement deals. But this is why people are like, I was in the industry for 20 years. This is why I'm saying about Jeff Lewis being overexposed. And this is also what I'm saying to Paige Davis DeSorbo. Paige, you need to be on a show in order, not just the podcast. You need to be on the show because look, Hannah, she's touring. She's doing her Netflix specials. She is creating content on her own. She has burner phone with her husband. And Paige is only going to have Amazon Live and Giggly Squad. That's not how you get endorsement deals. You have to be on a show. The reason why what's her face, Lindsay Hubbard, got that mobile commercial is because she's on Summer House and they are gearing up to air Summer House this winter. Paige doesn't have that. Oh, you like my paintings? Thank you. I guess like if I were Jeff Lewis, and I was doing Flipping Out, I would make the radio show just 1 hour and then I would do Flipping Out. But I don't think that there's enough interesting content to do 2 hours, 5 days a week, and then also have Flipping Out. And I have to say, Jamie Kennedy came so incredibly hard for Annie, and then he backtracked because everyone jumped on his back for like criticizing Annie. Annie is like, Shane knows his place in Jeff Lewis's world. Annie is using Jeff as a stepping stone. Is this show that good for guys? What's the name of the show? Well, I'm talking about Jeff Lewis Live, and then he's redeveloping his original show, Flipping Out, from the early 2000s, which is how we were all introduced to him. We will see. But I will say this. I am not a huge fan of Salt Lake City, but because I watched Angie K on Wife Swap, I've been going back and watching Salt Lake. But for me, it's just so hard to watch these women sit around a campfire, a table, a whatever, and just bicker and fight. No, I want to see them do I don't want the shows necessarily to be focused on these women as a friend group. I want them to be focused on the individual families, and then they could come together and have friend interactions. That's an original limited edition print from Audrey Kawasaki. What should you focus on when you watch the show? No, it doesn't. Negativity does not sell. We're going to fight about this, Kingsley, okay? Negativity does not sell. We watched years of these franchises before they became like this. And we are all saying, including Jeff Lewis, we are so sick of the fighting. And think about it. What demographic are you really attracting with that kind of garbage attitude? It's going to be garbage viewers. Us loyal viewers who watch from the beginning, we don't want to see fighting. We want to see their cute little lives, and then they come together, you know, for 10 minutes at the end of the episode. See how I look without them? I'm like, I've been wearing my glasses all day because I had to go, and not that I had to, I went and took a haircutting class and I wanted to be able to see everything. But the reason why I got these, I love these glasses so much. They're from Warby Parker. They're very, very light on my face. And when I wear them all day, it doesn't feel like a heavy, thick plastic frame on my face, but I do feel like they're a little crooked. Really, Kingsley? Thank you, Jay. I feel like give us a chance. Like, people are going back to flip phones because they literally are being constantly bombarded by stimulation. You know, life is like a pendulum, okay? You swing, we're in this age of constantly forward moving technology, and we've hit like a peak. I think TikTok is the peak before we go into VR. And you know, it's like, I really hope that they don't ruin the outside world for us so much and make it like a desolate, polluted, you know, wasteland, so we all feel like we may as well just live in a VR universe because it's prettier there or whatever. But we want to, people are getting regular telephones again. So I just think that the pendulum swung so far the other way, and now it's gonna like swing that way, and then somewhere along the line we're gonna meet in the middle. But at the end of the day, I think it's really hard for all of us to have boundaries and not constantly look at our phone, not constantly touch our phones, and it's an addiction. AR, what regular telephone? Velvet Spruce, what is my skin routine? I actually only have tinted moisturizer on today and a little bit of blush, and I put like a little bit of lipstick on. But should I do a video about my skincare routine? Because it's really like, it's complicated yet basic, you know? What is AR? Alternate reality? Thank you. What is AR? Okay, I'll have to do a video about the skincare routine for sure. Augmented reality. Thank you. Okay, so I did read Ready Player One, and I don't want to live in an augmented reality. And I don't think a lot of people do want to live in an augmented reality, but what I think is they'll ruin our landscape, our natural landscape so badly and burn it to a crisp that people will have no choice but to want to retreat into an alternate reality or let's see. It's already here. Pokemon Go is phase 1. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I never played Pokemon Go. Sure. Yeah. I could see why people I could see why people would want that. Hello, Tommy. Thank you so much, Tommy. Other than watch Jeff Lewis all day. Well, I don't watch Jeff Lewis all day. And I'm very, very busy, so I can never even listen to a full episode all at once. I have to listen to it in increments. Like right now, I still have like an hour and 25 minutes left of Jeff Lewis today. Sonia she's nuts. What do I do for work? I am a hairstylist and photographer and artist and model. Who's on the wall? We got cool paintings. Oh my gosh, you guys, I want to show you. So for the longest time, I wanted to separate my living room from like my bedroom area. And I'm really into feng shui. So I was like, I'm going to get curtains and just hang it up in the entryway. How cool. Girl, yes, slay queen. We out here slaying. Hungry kitty num num. That is like a whole different video. I can't even fit it into this video. Slay queen! Shout out chumps! So I didn't want to do beads because I just felt like they were just I loved like the cool velvet, and it like blocks it out. So it really feels like you're in two different parts of the apartment. I use heat on my hair. I know, bad girl, but I get my hair cut every 3 months. So every 12 weeks I go in for a haircut or a trim. My hair was like down to here in October, and I just got out of the shower and chopped it. And then my hairstylist this weekend, she gave me a great haircut. Oh my gosh, you guys are terrible. Thank you. Hairstylist for the hairstylist. Lesbians eyeglasses. Oh my goodness. You guys are so funny. But that's it. That's what's going on, y'all. That's what's going on. With great hair comes great responsibility. King Z, I don't know. All I could say is we got to pray for Sonia. She's looking like a hot mess. I feel like Luann just dies inside every time she has to do an interview with her because Luann is so fucking on top of her shit. And Sonia is just like losing her mind. And that's, yeah. But we're going to see. I guess Bravocon is it over? How do you blame the Kardashians? Oh my gosh. You guys. Holy shit. Okay, so Britney had a sleepover with Kim and Chloe. Somebody else said this. Why does she have the blurriest? Does she have like an iPhone 2? I don't understand. Why is it so blurry? Like you could see me in 4K. So, thank you. Thank you. I'm triggered. I'm triggered because of Britney. Like, I think that Britney is going to die. I do. I don't think she's going to live that much longer. Oh my gosh, stop it. I am not a lesbian. I'm totally a heterosexual. But I can't see your comments if I don't have my glasses on, so. Oh my goodness, you guys are terrible. They are. I think they are going to take her out. Thank you, Steve. I do. I don't know. This video is very grainy and she's acting very erratic. And I don't follow her on Instagram because honestly, I feel like I don't ever go on Instagram except to like post my hair stuff. And, but yeah, I just feel like you have the same glasses. You have good taste. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, I feel like they're going to take her out. And this is how Hollywood works, okay? They're setting her up. So they don't just do it all at once. No, they craft the plot. They hone the story. They fill, they fill out the details. They do the videos and oh, she's crazy. Do we not know how this works by now? Do we not get it? Thank you. Well, like they did to Michael Jackson. Okay. Now, why, Michael, are you in a bed with little kids that are not your kids? That's fucking weird to me. But was he? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. They definitely did it to Kanye. Oh, yeah. My hairstyle is from the 80s. Oh my God. I was watching, it was like on TikTok, and they had Britney from her early years and how cute and sweet she was. And then after she married K-Fed and had the boys so close together, I think she was probably already very, very, very fragile. And then you add on the hormones and the children back to back and all that does to your body. And I just don't think that there was any coming back from her, especially learning the history of the Spears family. Lots of mental illness, lots of betrayal, lots of abuse, lots of alcoholism, all of that stuff. So I just don't, when you get that famous, you do have handlers and you do have people who, you lose touch with reality. So I just don't think that there was any helping her really, because she just doesn't have like the wherewithal to pick the right people to be a part of her team. It was Felicia, it was the girl who her cousin Casey, but the machine just took over. So honestly, anyone who's like, I want to be famous, I'm like, I do not want to be fucking famous. Being famous sounds like, living in a gilded cage. It sounds awful. Britney's parents are atrocious. Britney definitely had lesbian glasses, yeah. Okay. Yes, hungry kitty nom nom, I do, yeah. I lived in LA twice, and I grew up in the industry, so I've I've watched it happen all around me. And thankfully, I wasn't successful enough to have that happen to me. Yeah, Kingsy, you totally, if you are famous from a very young age, you do lose touch with reality. And I don't think people really understand this, but you're surrounded by yes people. And you don't really understand what being surrounded by yes people means. But Britney said she could be in a room with 100 people and feel completely alone. That's like the epitome of being in a room with yes people. You know you're in a room with a bunch of people. You know they're there for really because you're there, so they have to be there as well. But you're their paycheck. So they're never going to say, hey, Britney, don't have that 5th Frappuccino. Hey, Britney, don't eat those Cheetos. They're not good for you. It's like they want to keep the drug addict happy so that they keep functioning in the capacity they need them to function in. And if they start taking away their crutches, they won't be able to work at the clip that they are working at. But look at what happened to Britney. Nobody said to her, eat a fucking vegetable and put your shoes on when you go into a gas station restroom. You probably have a tapeworm. Totally, Stuart. Totally. Yes, Kingsy. Literally. It's like they don't want to rock the boat. So they're not going to say, don't buy that. Don't wipe out your bank account to buy that. They're just going to be like, yeah, do it. And like, people don't have good intentions a lot of the time, and they're riding on your coattails. So, you know, it's easy to say, don't be around a bunch of yes people or don't be a yes person. But when you are the person who's like, hey, don't do that, and then the rest of the room is like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We need her to go on stage tonight. That's what it's like. Oh. What's up? But yeah, so it's just, you know, I really feel for her. She never had anyone, you know, who was going to stand in her corner and make those really hard calls for her. Oh my goodness, you guys. You like my moon painting? Thank you. I look like a teacher or a librarian. I have been on stage. I was an actor professionally for 20 years of my life. So yes, I've been on many stages. I'm a hairstylist. I do hair. No snow bunny here. Just perimenopausal nose drip. When you reach a certain age. That's why, like, you always, as an older woman, we always have like tissues because we're always like, that's what happens. Any TV or movies? I was in I Think I Love My Wife, which was a Chris Rock movie, and that was 2005. Thank you. That's why that's right. And this is all my hair, so no extensions. It's all mine, baby. All mine. If you ever want like fluffy hair, just do like internal. Do this. A little shaky. I literally do not look old at all. Thank you. I will take it. King Z doesn't have any hair. Oh no. I can't trim your bangs. Oh my gosh, with the personal questions. Anyway, I have to go listen to the rest of Jeff Lewis Live because I haven't finished yet. and I have so much stuff to do. Oh my gosh, I feel like there's never enough time. Thank you, Jay. But I love you guys. And look, age is just a number, babes. Age is just a number. Don't ever guess a woman's age. I love you, Mr. Mikey. You're my MVP, not a day over 25. It was good gossip. I think that I do have a prediction. I think that Jeff is going to have a falling out with Annie. I think that her head is definitely getting huge, and we'll see it on flipping out. And I think that 2 hours, 5 days a week is too much. We're going to see, though. Time will tell. Goodbye, beautiful. That's right. Go listen to Jeff Lewis live on SiriusXM. You will not regret it. Okay, everyone. Mwah. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Daily Dish with Candice Cooper. Have a great Monday evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.